Welcome to our study on 1 Corinthians 9 verses 8 to 18. Today, we'll explore discernment for the church, focusing on how we understand support for ministry. It's a vital topic for every believer to consider prayerfully. This passage fits within chapters 8 and 9, where Paul discusses Christian freedom and laying down our rights in love. He uses himself as an example, specifically addressing money, ministry, and the motives behind our service to God. Paul reminds us of God's principle from the law: an ox working the grain should eat from it. This teaches that those who labor in the gospel are worthy of support, a divine provision for their dedicated service. Paul asks if it's too much for those who sow spiritual things to reap material support. He affirms this connection. Yet, he chose not to exercise this right in Corinth to avoid hindering the gospel message. Just as Old Testament priests lived from temple offerings, the Lord commanded that those who preach the gospel should live from it. Supporting faithful ministers is a biblical principle when done with integrity and holiness. Paul refused to demand his rights, ensuring no one could accuse him of preaching for profit. He saw preaching as a divine calling, not a business. His reward was to preach freely, without abusing authority. Churches supporting ministers financially can be scriptural and good. This support should always point people to Jesus, not to money or personalities. Leaders are called to humility, accountability, and sacrificial love for the flock. We must be discerning. Red flags include money overshadowing the cross, pressure or manipulation for giving, and leaders using authority to control or living in unchecked luxury. These practices contradict biblical principles. Ask yourself, is Jesus or money at the center of the preaching? Is giving taught as worship or a transaction? Do leaders sacrifice or only demand it from others? Is there transparency in handling finances? 1 Corinthians 9 verses 8 to 18 shows the gospel is free, even when ministers are supported. Let's support true ministry, reject manipulation, and keep Christ central. Lord, purify your church, grant us discernment, humility, and courage to honor you in giving and serving. Amen.